Hello everyone. Okay, so I weighed myself. I didn't weigh myself day one because I'm imperfect and I didn't have a scale. I weighed myself last night and I weighed 185 pounds. So that's day 3. And I'm losing half a pound a day for the rest of this month of excess body fat is my goal. And I'm so excited. And I'm really proud of myself. And I just want to say today that I'm like massively proud of myself because I told myself, I was like, okay, that's a goal, is a half a pound of body fat each day. I also want to build a habit and do something new and keep up with it for the whole month. And so what I've been doing is intermittent fasting. So from 12 to 8, I'm eating in between there. And not giving myself any more rules. Like, this is my month. These are my rules this month, is like intermittent fasting and drink at least a whole one of these a day, which is 64 ounces of water, which is really only like half of the amount that I should be drinking. And so that's good, like a baseline goal. And let's see, what else? Intermittent fasting between 12 and 8 and drinking a whole thing of water. And yeah, I think that is the rules that I have. And then just really getting into myself every day of like, okay, I'm doing this. And it's exciting and it's fun. It's like, and every time I just talk about it, it like just brings so much life into the fact that it's happening and it's unfolding. And then today I was like, I have my Fitness Pal app, and it just came into my awareness, and I was like, they have like the lose this much in this amount of time, and like counting calories has always been a real trigger for me. And so it's like allowing myself, because of like diet trauma and all of that kind of stuff that I've experienced in my life, it's important for me, and I know for a fact that it's important for me to bring in that safety back into my body, that it is safe to eat food and lose weight. So it's like that balance of everything. And but what I was inspired to do was to use that app to show me, because I'm like, okay, if we determine what we want to experience in life, I love food. Like, I want to eat so much food and feel fulfilled, because I recognized yesterday that I said that I'm hungry more than I say that I'm full. So like, I feel like my body's just always on I'm hungry. And so now I'm bringing into my body, like, I'm fulfilled, not full. I'm fulfilled and satiated after every meal, like just bringing it even into my awareness. Like right now, I'm so fulfilled. I have been drinking water. I had Skinny Fit does these like shakes, so I am doing Skinny Fit too, which is like just to help my gut bacteria, because I really need to get regular again. So I've been doing the detox teas, the apple cider vinegar chewies, and then they have like a collagen mix, I believe. So I just started the collagen mix today, so I had that today at like 9 o'clock. So drinks and stuff, like tea, I'll have at night. Drinks and stuff I'm drinking outside of those hours for myself, and that's These are my rules, right? It's okay. So I'm really excited. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'm using the MyFitnessPal app to learn more about like what I am eating, which is really fascinating. So like I had 17 ounces of cauliflower, and that was only like 180 calories. And I was like, oh my God, I could eat so many veggies. Like so many more veggies than I have been eating. And I'm really excited to just like slam my body with a bunch of nutrient-rich foods and just understanding more, like not getting crazy with the calories in terms of like I need to stay under this many, because I'm not counting calories right now, or I might not ever, who knows, like I'm taking it day by day. But what I want to learn is like what foods work best for my body, how do I feel when I eat certain foods, and the more clarity that I can get, as well as really filling my body up. Like I love feeling full. Like my body feels safe when it feels full. So working with my body and transitioning its habits and its understanding, it's like reteaching, but then also working with it. And then I've noticed that ultimately makes change for me. It's like working, giving it what it feels like it needs, as well as working on the mindset, working on the triggers that are coming up, like being present with it all, and allowing myself to just fully step into me being seen. So that's also like working on a lot of those parts of me that, you know, were like insecure and not confident, or like questioning myself. So it's like it's doing a lot of the inner work with being so present with the outer work. And today I was really proud of myself. I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, and I'm going to get to it. I was really proud of myself today because I wanted to, my body was like, I was putting all my food away in the fridge because I'm house sitting, so I brought a lot of food from my place over here. And then it was like, oh, you're hungry, like you haven't eaten anything today. And I checked in and I was like, and this is day 3, guys, like this is usually how quickly I give up on things, because I go back, like I'll sit there and say, well, I'm honoring my body. And I'm recognizing, and everybody has to recognize for themselves where they're honoring their body or they're falling into a pattern or like a learned behavior or habit or whatever your thing is. So I recognized that I was falling into a habit that was feeding this belief that said that I can't do it. I can't finish and see through something that I start. And I've chosen to, I'm going to debunk that belief that I have that says that I can't follow through. And you know what, damn it, I'm doing it, because a human being can live so long without eating food. Not that it's like wonderful. For some people it is. Like there's so many fasts out there, and now I'm getting into a rabbit hole, but I truly believe like some of the detoxes and things like that are so healthy for your body just to cleanse it, especially the food that we have nowadays in the market. So with that being said, I'm like, I can go 16 hours without eating food, because most of that is me sleeping and working. So it's like so easy. It's so easy. It's bringing in these new beliefs into our belief system and working with the habits. So like when something comes up, it's like, it's so easy to put on paper, this is what I'm going to do. The hardest part is working when you're triggered, when that habit is coming to the forefront, when those beliefs are coming through your mind. It's like, what do you do in those moments? Not necessarily what are you doing when you feel the most empowered. It's what are you how are you handling the hardest parts. And I think that is what is really key. So that's what I really want to focus on for myself, is like, how am I handling the hardest parts? And if I can show up for myself with presence, with compassion, with understanding, and with curiosity in those moments of my trigger, then I'm really happy and excited for the direction that all of this is going in. So obviously doing exercise is important. I've been walking every day, and intentionally doing more stretches, which is helping me, and just really taking it slow. This is the first time I definitely have come from a background of all or nothing thinking, and if it's not happening right now, I don't want any part of it. And it's really not set my life up for success, because learning any new skill, developing and becoming who we want to become, it requires presence. So being present in the moment and within yourself, within your body, as well as allowing yourself to transition over time. So it's not going to be an overnight thing. But if you can build the foundation and the habits, then it's going to set you up for success later on down the road. And I'm relearning it. Like, I'm 30 years old and I almost feel like I'm starting over in kindergarten as to like how to be an adult. And it's honestly been so fun, so liberating, and just so freeing to like allow myself to have humility and be like, wow, I was not on a great track before, and I thought I was, and that's okay, because I learned so much in that transition phase. So I encourage you to have humility. It's okay to start completely over and to say, you know what, I thought I knew about X, Y, and Z. I'm starting completely over and saying, I don't know a damn thing about it, and I'm just going to learn. I'm going to learn what works for my body. I'm going to take it day by day and just see what comes up. And anything that comes up, I believe and trust and look forward to overcoming it through presence and through awareness on what my goals are and what my whys are. So having those, even if you have to write them down and stick them in your pocket, when you feel triggered and when you feel like you want to go back to a habit, pulling that out and looking, okay, what is my goal, long-term goal? How would I feel if I gave in to this part of me that is maybe just having a fear response because it's transitioning, because it's changing, because there is an unknown, because there's a part of you that's been so hidden for so long. What would life be like if you actually looked the way that you wanted to look and felt the way that you wanted to feel? There's a lot of that. There could be anxiety that comes up with it. There could be uncertainty. There could be fears and worries and doubts and all of these things. But bringing in that compassion piece, bringing in that like motherly, just if you were to really sit down with your best friend or your closest confidant, and they were having just a really hard time putting themselves down, how would you comfort and nourish them in the most loving way possible? Like, do that for yourself in those moments of trigger. And even if it's just like, I want to feel unhappy for a minute. Like, I had that the other day, and then I'll make this my last point. I had that the other day where I was triggered and I felt unworthy. I felt embarrassed. I felt so low, like, and I knew what was happening. In my mind, I seen a person that triggered a lot of just different events that came from a time in my life where I was like at my lowest. And I would say that, so then I started to believe that anybody that I see that just happened to even be a fraction of that experience, that even was just like standing in that had nothing to do. When I would see them, it would bring up all of those insecurities within me. And I found it really fascinating because like I'll go, because this was just yesterday, I'll go months and months totally fine, feeling so empowered in my body, excited to live life, be present. And when I see an individual from this portion, I'm like I am so dysregulated. Dysregulation is the first word that comes to my mind when I see a person. They don't even have to see me. We're not interacting. It's like, it's really interesting. So like just being present within myself, I was like, what is happening? You know, like just, and I've done this a couple of times. Anytime it comes up, it's like, I found it to be fascinating, yet sometimes it's more easy for me to step out to kind of observe myself and what's happening and to separate myself. But in these moments, it's so entangled, and I find that really fascinating too, that it's a little bit more difficult for me to separate myself. So learning about that dysregulation a little bit deeper, that's like absolutely my goal. And also, a part of me yesterday just wanted to be like, I'm unhappy. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know, I found myself in the beginning like, oh my God, how do I make myself happy? Like, I gotta find out where where I'm unhappy, why I'm unhappy, like look into my past, blah, blah, blah. And that I was actually proud of myself because that lasted probably 5 minutes, which is really short for me. And then I was just like, you know what? Like, there was just this part of me that was like, it's okay to be unhappy. And then I was thinking about like my past relationships or relationships with family and friends and stuff, and how when someone's unhappy, like the energy behind it is like, oh no, I want you to be happy. Let me make you happy. Let me try to make you happy. What can we do to make you happy? You know, and it's like, as opposed to just holding space for that unhappiness. And that is by far, for me, the quickest way to overcome like your emotional state is like just being present with it. Just like we want to be present with happiness and joy, being present with like anger and frustration and just general unhappiness, that's okay too. And I just felt so at peace. Like there was no resistance, because when I was trying to make myself feel happier, there was so much resistance. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong and blah, 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 you know, because you feel the pushback. And when I allowed myself just to be in that moment of like, right now I'm unhappy. And that's okay. I'm allowed to be unhappy right now in this moment. And just allowing myself to be like, to just be present, and that was okay. Like I didn't need to overthink it. I didn't need to take it apart. I didn't need to understand it. I just needed to be present with it. And then it went away. And then it transformed and transpired. And I was just like, life is amazing. What we learn every day. So, I don't know what the point of that was. I think I did when I first mentioned it, but being present with yourself is incredibly important. Still on this journey. It's day 3. We're gonna make it through the entire month, and I'm so happy and excited just to see what unfolds of all of this. So I have been slow with updating videos too, so you're gonna get like all of the videos today from day 1, 2, and 3. Just taking it day by day. We're learning. We're perfectly perfect. All right, love you. Bye.